My name is Guilherme Teles, and today we are going to talk about why become a cloud security professional. So, first we need to start. Why is the cloud market so hot today? Today, companies of all shapes and sizes are adapting to this new technology, and it is almost impossible to find an organization that is not at least partially dependent on cloud services. In fact, companies that aren't moving to the cloud are limiting their chances of growth. According to Gartner, in 2024, a no cloud corporate policy will be as rare as a no internet policy. Cloud computing is the latest buzzword in IT industry. It changed the way IT solutions are delivered and consumed by end users. So, by updating your Facebook status, you are using cloud computing. When you store files on iCloud, Google Drive, Dropbox, or you are using the cloud. When you are using your internet banking, again, you are in the cloud. There is a strong possibility that you are depending on cloud services to solve the challenges facing your business today. Whenever we talk about the operating system, doesn't matter if it's Windows, Linux, or Mac OS, databases, you can choose your flavor, web servers, IP address, or virtual local area networks. Cloud computing is heavily used everywhere. Even the latest IoT technology, machine learning, artificial intelligence, advanced robotics, and drones, even self driving cars and blockchain also rely on cloud computing. According to Forbes, by 2024, a staggering 83% of the company's workloads around the world will be stored in the cloud. So, let's discuss some facts and trends about cloud computing that show how it is growing in the market. IBM, Google, Microsoft are making big bets on cloud computing and for a good reason. In July of 2019, IBM spent the enormous amount of $34 billion to acquire Red Hat and boost its cloud business. According to Gartner research, public cloud revenues will exceed more than $250 billion in 2024. The adoption of cloud computing around the world is gaining momentum and will continue to grow, with increased participation expected to both the private and public sectors. So let's take a look at some numbers and trends given that confirm that cloud services are rapidly growing in the market. So the global cloud computing market is expected to exceed $650 billion by 2025. Around 2020, the cloud initiatives were the amount of 70% of all technologies that were on investment. By 2025, it is predicted that 80% of organizations around the world will migrate to cloud. Public cloud adoption grew 92% in 2018. Infrastructure as a services is expected to reach $72 billion worldwide by 2024. In 2018, serverless technology, which is almost a cloud-native solution, has had a market share of 50%, making it the fastest growing extended cloud service. 84% of companies will follow a multi-cloud strategy. The Modi government, it's the Digital India initiative, is based on cloud technology. Tata Consultant Services, Control S, Wipro, Infosys, all these Indian IT majors have embraced cloud computing technologies. Mobile users outnumber desktop users, and this huge use base plays a vital role in the move to the cloud, especially with the 5G technology. From these statistics and facts, you must have guessed that cloud computing is gaining a lot of enthusiasm in the market. Many companies are migrating their business to a remote infrastructure. So, managing cloud adoption appears to be a top priority for a company this year in 2023. It is expected to maintain a top priority status for years to come as well. A boom is new in cloud services and therefore is imminent. But one question remains. Why are so many companies choosing cloud services? What is the advantage of using it and why cloud computing is being so popular in the market and why you should become a cloud security professional? So, why is cloud computing booming in the market? Cloud computing has replaced the traditional way of managing applications. Shopping, music, video, test editing, everything is done online today. All these things requires energy, resources, and money. If any third party can take responsibility for the data, organizations can focus on other aspects to grow their business. Cloud computing is the on-demand availability of computing resources such as CPU, memory, storage, all of that through the internet. It eliminates the physical configuration of on-premises servers. This offers companies to downsize their IT infrastructure as data storage centers would no longer be required for storage purposes. Due to the numerous individual and business problems we face today, we need cloud computing. It is not only beneficial for companies and organizations, but also useful for the common citizen. It allows us to run software programs without downloading it to our machines. It allows us to store more and view our interactive content on the internet. It allows us to build and verify technology without databases and so on. It allows companies to run software without installing it. It offers redundancy, security, stability, and also eliminates the hassle of buying and maintaining hardware. If you are not still convinced, let's discuss some features of cloud computing in detail for a better explanation of why it's booming in the market. So let's start with flexibility. If companies' bandwidth requirements or operating costs tend to fluctuate using cloud services, it makes perfect sense. Cloud computing offers various pre-built platforms and services and also allows you to develop custom solutions as per your specific needs. It allows you to upgrade your services as per your needs. At any time, you can increase and decrease your cloud capacity depending on your needs. There is no need to pay extra money for services you are not using in the cloud. Second, and the pillar of this whole video, ensures security. When working on a project, if your laptop or hard drive gets lost, it could cost you $1 billion in business and you can't imagine the loss if you go down the drain, keep your data locally on a computer. It is always a risk and a big problem for companies and also for individuals. The cost of losing your confidential or private data is greater than losing your physical kit or equipment. So, cloud computing solves this problem and offers a top-notch data security. If you lose your mobile device or laptop or your computer system is attacked by viruses or worms, you can still access everything you have in the cloud using another machine or device. You can also remotely wipe data from lost laptops so they don't fall into the wrong hands. Maintain productivity. Cloud computing allows team members to work on the same document in real time. It becomes convenient and easy for team members to edit, to share, and access the document or data anytime from anywhere. So no need to waste time updating, filling and printing documents. Cloud services provide better workflow and file sharing apps that help team members make real-time updates and give them full visibility into their collaborations. It requires less energy and effort, which eventually maintains business productivity and continuity. In short, the technology eliminates the need to exchange documents. Cost savings and maintenance. Companies spend a lot of money on purchasing hardware, purchasing software, licensing, maintaining, updating, distributing, and destroying hard copies. When you use cloud services, all of these expenses are eliminated. It eliminates the cost and complexity of owning and operating computers and networks. As I have mentioned, the cost of cloud services is customizable and you only pay as you go. You pay for the services you are using in the cloud and you don't have to worry about maintaining your systems. Cloud service providers take care of your information by releasing regular software updates, including security updates. Rather than buying the capital yourself and bearing all the costs, this is much easier and more convenient for organizations. Work from anywhere. No matter where you are sitting in the world, the cloud service allows you to access data anywhere, anytime. You don't need to carry your USB or laptop in different places. You just need an internet connection to access your cloud data. Some cloud services also offers mobile apps, so you are not restricted to using any specific device. This, of course, gives you more flexibility and convenience to the employees, as well as running the business operations smoothly. So, Gartner estimates that more than 50% of what is spent on the cloud today is inefficient. Even so, the context of the cloud computing market is one of growth and consolidation, especially among the big players, which are strongly impacted by the strength of local markets. For example, Alibaba, despite not having presence in Latin America, is the third largest global cloud provider. According to a study by consultants called Canalys, the top three global public providers are AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, accounted for 63% of global cloud spending in the second quarter, collectively growing 42%. When looked at in isolation, AWS accounted for 31% of global enterprise spending over this period, up 33% year over year of growth. Azure followed with a 24% share and 40% growth for the year. And Google Cloud grew 45% and had 80% market share. In many countries, AWS now has the largest market share and the largest partner ecosystem with 57%, and it's followed by Azure with 28%. It is believed that AWS leadership is mainly due to the fact that it started earlier in this market. So they offer more innovation and constant offer of services as a strategy. Over the past 2 years, AWS has increased its investments, taking advantage of the growing adoption of clouds. But both AWS and Microsoft continue to expand infrastructure around the world. Microsoft, for example, plans to launch 10 global cloud regions next year. AWS, which now has 84 global cloud zones and 26 cloud regions, plans to roll out 24 availability zones across 8 regions. Among these new AWS regions is Chile, in whose capital, Santiago. The company is developing a project of $205 million. So, looking for professional. The pandemic has certainly accelerated digital transformation in many countries, and I have seen this innovation in the first 12 months from March 2020 that I haven't seen in the past 5 years. However, it is important to facilitate that the way in which governments can acquire cloud computing infrastructure and services, as well as the training of professionals. So, how to stand out in this market with certifications? First, let's talk about what are IT certifications and why you should become a cloud security professionals. Okay? IT certifications are formal declarations issued by a company that has credibility, serving to prove the skills of a certain professional in some area of technological knowledge. For example, software, processes, information security, among other areas of knowledge. And because it is a statement of knowledge and skills, IT certifications are an important way to grow professionally while generating recognition in the job market. The technology market is dynamic, it's totally fast, requiring constant updating by those who work in the field. This is where the difference between the professional who has certifications and the one who does not comes in. And it's no wonder given that for some companies, certifications carry more weight than a college degree. This happens due to the fact that they make the professional more prepared to perform particular functions in some segments of the sector. But in general, these certificates function as declarations that have one purpose, attesting to a professional competency in a given subject. So let me share with you part of my history. I started doing certifications in September of 2001, and from there to nowadays I have achieved 58 certifications in different companies, different areas, in different technologies. So what does this mean? What a certification means? It simply means that you can have all the time job offers. It means that you can have credibility. You can demonstrate and show your potential employees that you are committed to your professional, you are committed to do something right. Because when you look for a certification, especially for a good vendor such as public cloud providers, it is attested that you are looking for the market and you can show yourself that you have experience and you have credibility and you have commitment with your money, with your time, and with your career. So what's the importance of certifications for the IT professional? Understood what IT certificates are, we must bear in mind that they are crucial for those who want to stand out in the job market and get better positions. In addition, this is a possibility for anyone who wants to be hired by a company of greater importance in the field. Therefore, it is worth saying that the importance of IT certification is due to the fact that it is by itself, it provides a differential in the curriculum of those who have it. So, the importance of IT certification is the differential in any resume. So, considering that the IT job market is very broad and consequently demanding, thus it becomes necessary to have a qualified employee to supply the utilities sought by the company. It is worth mentioning, however, that the name of the company that signs the certification also generates a differentiating factor among people in the field. After all, a professional who has this document automatically has a high practical knowledge of technologies. So, invest in cloud computing today ensures that you have expertise in a given area, and it is these professional attitudes that make all the difference for you to find better opportunities in the market. With them, you can become and you will become an expert at something. So, why is it worth passing an AWS certification in 2023? Now that you understand why certification is so important, you are probably wondering, were any of them worth doing in this challenging time? So, let's talk about some reasons why AWS certifications are super important in 2023. So, cloud computing experience is essential for every IT professional. One of the main reasons AWS certifications are worthwhile is because cloud computing is inevitable for IT specialists. Breakthrough technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning are driving every industry in the cloud. Blockchain technologies are also a top user of cloud computing. According to Forbes, most IT professionals believe these cutting-edge technologies play a significant role in the adoption of cloud computing. Gaining experience in cloud computing, especially in AWS services, is a necessity for IT specialists today and for the foreseeable future. So, if you want to gain a competitive advantage and stand out from the crowd, you can't ignore AWS certifications and the cloud security market. Demand for AWS skills is outpacing the supply. So finding people with cloud computing skills has become difficult for employers around the world. According to a recent report, around 60% of cloud computing posting require AWS related skills. These numbers indicate that AWS skills and knowledge are in high demand and will continue to be in the future. Learning AWS is therefore one of the best ways to advance your career and ensure that you get a valuable job at your dream company. Cloud computing and AWS is widely used in cloud adoption. Another reason why you should start your cloud computing journey with AWS is that AWS controls about a 30 of the infrastructure as a service market, the IaaS. There's more than the next two providers. So imagine if you start learning cloud security with this size of adoption around the world, imagine you'll be disputed by company. You have job offers all the time. So if you have to choose between a college degree and cloud security professional certification, I must say you must choose AWS cloud security certification, because when we talk about the cloud adoption around the world, the trend continues. So experts believe it will, and we will likely see an exponential growth in cloud adoption for the years to come. So the need to secure those environments, to secure those applications, to translate security needs into business needs and vice versa will be a central role. It will be a strategic role for the right professional. Therefore, earning AWS certification is the safest career choice for IT professionals and for any professional, for any student, and those looking to expand their business and skills on this highly regarded platform. There is an increase in migration from the cloud to AWS. Small business as well as big companies have established and even established organizations across all industry sectors are increasingly moving to the cloud. Cisco projects that global data center IP traffic will reach 20.6 zettabytes by the end of this year. That translates around 2 zettabytes per month. In addition, the worldwide market for public cloud services is expected to reach 17.5%. Massive corporate migration doesn't come without its share of challenges. So to solve them, there is a pressing need for professional and customized solution. If you are understanding and following up this, imagine there is an enormous space to grow, an enormous area to implement several technologies. And what we must understand right now is that all of those companies, all of these environments will need someone to look for the security, to look at the business and see what risks, what compliance to comply with, what regulations to comply with. So we need to understand the role here of the cloud security professional, and why we need to become that professional is that because this professional is already rare today and will be even more rare, because it needs to be in alignment with not only the security but with the business needs. So that person will play a central role with development, with infrastructure, with business unit, with testing, with marketing, with human resources, with financial, because security is everywhere right now. So this has led to an increased demand for cloud specialists who can help companies smooth the transition from conventional IT infrastructure to the cloud, and taking a look all the time on security. In-depth knowledge and a know-how of cloud partners, especially AWS, has become a valuable asset for organizations across all industry. And this is one of the reasons why you should consider AWS certifications today. Certification validates credibility and experience. Trust, credibility, and experience are significant factors when it comes to providing value to potential clients and employers. Imagine hosting your application without security in it anyway. How long do you think your application would survive without any illegitimate access to it? It is vital to increase cloud security privacy, and control network access when using any cloud, or increase AWS security when using AWS cloud to host your applications. With a specific industry like banking and finance having stricter rules on data storage, data residency, and data sovereignty, everyone is concerned about their information and worried about security. At the same time, it is of utmost importance for a public cloud provider like AWS to protect the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of its systems and data. So, the common AWS security challenges. Security is the most critical aspect of the cloud, which applies to AWS. It is also essential to understand that the security cloud is a shared responsibility. AWS takes much more responsibility for security. However, users take responsibility for access control, audit logging, monitoring, and so many others. This can ensure that the company can pinpoint the exact issue by reviewing the logs if something goes wrong in the cloud environment. Even though AWS provides a certain level of protection, it simply cannot cover all aspects of security compliance. Researching yourself is essential to ensure you don't expose yourself to attackers. Let's talk about some example. If you have a plain text credentials in environmental variables, AWS cannot do anything for you. You must make sure that you are not using credentials in your applications in plain text format. Following, let's talk about some challenges financial services industry face on the public cloud adoption. DDoS and DOS attacks. So the distributed denial of services or denial of service attacks affect how applications work by overloading website servers so that they cannot respond to legitimate or valid user requests. This can result in loss of reputation, brand, and revenue as well. So this is kind of the first thing that you need to look for when you become a cloud security professional, to understand the top priorities that your company must address. Let's talk about data breaches. When storing critical or business data in the cloud, there is a risk of data theft. A data breach can be intentional or unintentional and is attributed to hacking or malware attacks. Data privacy or data confidentiality. It is one of the main concerns of the financial services industry when using the cloud to store their data. On one hand, it has its advantage. On the other hand, there are concerns related to data breaches, data privacy violations, penalties by data protection regulations for data security breaches. So you need to understand this whole thing in a complete view. Let's talk about resource sharing. The cloud is designed so that hardware resources such as memory, storage, and CPU can be shared. Although it looks very easy, it also has its security issues. This makes it difficult for organizations to ensure that data is only accessed by authorized persons and not available to others. So, security risks for financial institutions. Financial institutions are often targeted by cyber criminals and are at higher risk compared to other business. Confidential bank data can be at risk if security is compromised and can cause major financial and reputational damage, leading to massive data loss and theft. In successful attacks, the unencrypted data stolen by attackers can be misused and can land financial institutions in serious trouble. This isn't always the case. Data may be stolen, but sometimes altered by intruders. This altered data can be difficult to identify and cause financial institutions to incur millions of dollars in damages. In some cases, compromised end-user devices such as cell phones or computers used to connect to banks can transfer malware that can attack bank networks. To protect financial institutions or any other organizations from such risks, intrusion detection or intrusion prevention systems are commonly used. Intrusion detection systems play a vital role in identifying potential attacks on systems. Intrusion detection is a strategy uh, among organizations that should consider to protect network environment from hackers. It is an ability to monitor and react to applications or system misuse. So, organizations should also have an automated process such as proactive identification, network vulnerability scanning. It is an essential step for financial organizations or any other organizations to strengthen security defenses, to have different layers of protection. So, these are the principal factors that any cloud security professional should excel and build lasting relationship. So, with that in mind, you should consider something. Why you should really become a cloud security professional? A great way to do this is to establish credibility, trust, and experience is to produce a certification that shows that you have the skills in a specific area. So, if you start your study today, you can certainly have some cloud security certifications, and by holding these certifications, you as a professional can tell your client and potential employees that you have undergone rigorous training and you have the ability to successfully implement the given tasks. And the more focus is that the financial market is one of the biggest around the world. Of course, it controls money. And if we are having a massive movement from companies to the cloud, a massive movement from data to the cloud, according to Forbes, to Gartner, and several other research companies and organizations, it is clear that if we already have a gap of professionals, imagine how we'll be in 2, in 5, in 10 years with this movement to the cloud. Like I said, I have been doing certifications for almost 20 years. I have 58 titles so far. I have not passed on several certifications, and it's not a shame. But the point here is that I have never seen a movement to hire professionals, to hire IT pros, to hire students with certifications like I am seeing in these days. So I'm telling you, for a person that is in the market for almost 20 years, with proof of experience, there's no reason you can't land a lucrative job with your dream organization if you have a certification. I have been doing certification for almost my career. So don't make the mistake of overlooking the importance of AWS certifications and IT certifications. So AWS skills and cloud security skills are very well compensated. Individuals with those certifications are the top of the list of highest paid professionals, and they can be disputed by not only one, but two, but three, and more companies around the world. And with the post-pandemic thing, you can work from anywhere in the world and achieve, of course, a very lucrative job. And many AWS jobs and many cloud security positions offers a monthly 5-figure salary. So as you think about improving your skills in these challenging times, choose cloud security professionals certifications and AWS certifications as the path that you want to take, and find a great AWS certification training course, study hard and pass your exam, and you too can become an expert in cloud computing just as myself. And if you don't know how to start, go to my website, peakside.tech. There I have the beginner's guide to cloud computing. It is focused on AWS, but it's a great place to start. And if you have any doubt, I'm here to help you with everything, every knowledge, and just let me know, okay? Have a great day.